I've lived in a Christian home all my life, and I never really knew what it meant to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. So when I was in 6th grade, I really started thinking about whether God was real or not. And that year, my dad took me to a Men at the Cross event, and I was saved there on November 12th, which was my birthday. So, and I've been growing in my faith ever since. So, yeah.
My name's Indiana Johnson.
Hi.
Hi guys. And I kind of feel bad because I kind of have a mini sermon here, so I'm going to be really fast, but if you know my dad, I kind of was grown up that way. Okay, so a little background about me. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on how I became a Christian. I was just a little kid, always grown up in a Christian family. It's an amazing blessing to grow up that way. Some things that I've struggled with, I'm just going to kind of use like an example, is that I kind of used to see God as like a dog, like on a leash, and I would walk him around, and I would let people pet him and admire him, but whenever he would like go off track, I'd pull him back to my plans and my path. And that was a big problem for me because that's not the right way to have a relationship with God. It's basically holding him at a distance. I felt like I wasn't good enough, and a lot of this comes because of my personality. When I was little, I was this idealistic perfectionist. I mean, for example, I'd have quiet times, and if it wasn't the perfect font and didn't fill up the page exactly the right way, I would rip it out and throw it away. It didn't matter what I was writing about in my quiet times, it mattered about how it looked on the outside. And that was a huge problem because I was not growing in my faith with Christ. I was instead trying to have this perfect relationship, which it's not about that. It's about learning how to grow and respond to God. So, let's see. I really saw God as kind of like a policeman almost. Whenever I did something bad, he was going to throw me in jail. And because I started seeing him that way, I turned from this perfectionist child to a rebellious girl who didn't want to follow rules, didn't want to be held down by laws or whatever. And so I kind of turned away from God. I really hit a wall. And it's just been this past couple months that has really changed my idea of God because of an accident I had in basketball. I got kicked in the head, got a concussion to the frontal lobe. My neck had serious whiplash. The vertebrae in my neck slipped out of place. And then I got a second concussion on the back of my head. And then I got TMJ in my jaw. I've been suffering through depression and insomnia, just all these different things. I mean, 2 weeks staring at a wall. Basically, God took everything I had. And he did that all in his plan, and I'm thankful for it because I've learned so much out of this experience. I realized that once this happened, obviously I was doing something wrong and I needed to learn something. So I started doing some soul searching, and during church one day I took a rock sheet paper and mapped out all of my problems, all the things that are wrong in my life, and I was still at a stopping point. But my mom took me out to coffee with this really nice lady named Susie Nelson, and she kind of just clicked with me and knew exactly my problems. She gave me 4 areas to work on. Number 1 was to respond to the Spirit, and Colossians 2:6, it talks about how when we first responded to Christ, when we first became a Christian, that's how we need to continue walking in our faith with God, that we need to keep growing, and that's how you do it. You don't have to follow a book of rules. You don't have to have quiet times that are perfect every morning. You just respond to the Spirit. So that's one way that I've been really getting back right with God, is just by responding to every time that he tells me I need to do something. Another thing that she said was stop shoulding on yourself. Now, that may sound kind of bad, but it's shoulding as in like, I should be reading more. I should be doing this. I need to stop doing that. It's really just about not perfection. It's about having a relationship with Christ. And a verse that I really like about that is Romans 8:1. It talks about how, therefore, once you have become... Therefore, there is no condemnation in Christ Jesus, dear Lord. And so basically what that's saying is once you become a Christian, there's no condemnation. You can live free in Christ. And the third point she told me was to look for gold. When I'm reading the Bible, it's not about doing binge reading. Read as much as you can because you feel bad. It's about really looking for the gold that can impact your life. The last thing that she told me was to draw with your eyes closed, and I'm an artist, and that really spoke to me. And basically what that means is you don't have to get it right. I mean, drawing with your eyes closed, you don't know what the end picture is going to be, but you're doing what you know is right and what you've learned. And that's about it. Thanks.
Yeah.